Okay, this was kind of a general response, but the bashing must continue. And the bashing must continue as a form of therapy because it has been suppressed for at least 3 decades. Three. Um, if anybody listens to a lot of videos of mine, I will say a lot of things over, so I'm sorry and I apologize for it. But yes, I am 37 years old, nearly 40, and I am one of the intellectual brothers out there who has pretty much done the right thing. I say pretty much. I have made my mistakes. I have stepped out as far as, acted a fool for a little bit and came back to my senses and figured out that's not me, you know. I don't need to act that way or be that way towards women or towards people. And I went right back to myself, being me. I'm mostly into computers and technology and entertainment like video games and comic books and stuff like that, websites, all of that. That's my background, that's my passion, that's my life. But for decades, if you look at all the talk shows going all the way back to like Donahue, Rolanda, Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake, all the way up to Tara and Oprah right now, they have always given a forum to black women, just completely devastating black men. And we have never ever had the opportunity to defend ourselves. If we do, it's in a controlled environment like a studio. We really don't get to say what we want to say, because what do these black men, it's like they handpick these black men, and what do they say? They play up to a black woman's ego and not have a real intellectual, frank, fact and logical discussion about it. They don't. They cower. They submit to whatever the audience seems to clap to. And the media feeds off of this. Some of the bashing is just straight up, yeah, they got hurt by some black women, or groups of them taunted them and things like that. Yes, I've had my experience with all women saying no to me and saying yes to me. But I've gotten over that. At this stage in the game, nothing to lose, right? I've, traveled the world, been to, Japan, been to China, been to Europe, been to Canada. Haven't been to Mexico yet, or anything like that. But yeah, and people, see you in a different light. But think about it from the black man's point of view. Here you've been doing this, and it's not your fault in particular, black man, black woman, but it's kind of like history. Those who have been on TV have been saying that all black men are terrible, or they say that there's a very small few, but then they said the ones that aren't terrible are gay, or they're having white women, ongoing and ongoing, never taking any responsibility for themselves. Because a black man, you've heard him say that, we will say we're wrong, we're ready to move on. In fact, we've been saying we've been ready to move on for the longest. I haven't heard a black woman say on TV, yes, on YouTube maybe, but I haven't heard any of them say, yes, some of us have done wrong, we want to move forward. Let's start from a clean slate. Let's not talk about the people who are doing bad. Let's set up positive examples of moving forward. I don't see that. I myself have made a couple of things that, and probably will, make some more bashing black women. I don't know to what depths it would go. I don't feel that black women are the Antichrist or demons or anything like that and deserve to be, whores and things like that. But I do believe the main thing that bugs me about black women is attitude, mentality, and intelligence. That's my own personal preference. The sex appeal you got down. The love is there once it's received, but how do we get to that point where you see me as an equal, not somebody inferior? I don't see a lot of black women looking towards a normal black man as something inspirational. But I can see in other cultures they do. Mexican, Asian. I'm around a lot of Asians. I'm in Southern California, and they look at their men differently. But no, black women have been doing this for years. Now it's our turn to talk, and we're just doing it on fucking YouTube, which is nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. But in a way, like I said, this is kind of therapy. Let it all flush out. When this is all out, it's like a volcano. It's been sitting dormant for so long. Now it's erupting. Once it's spewed out, there's going to be a hole left. And that hole could be filled with other things, more positive things. But some of these brothers have been holding on for it for so long, or have been apologizing and doing the right thing with nobody paying attention. That's the funny thing. The brothers who are doing good, who marry black women, don't even get any credit. You don't even use them as examples. That's the most fucked up part of all. Take, for example, nobody ever brings up Angela Bassett and Courtney B. Vance. They don't. They really don't. That's because they want the controversy. They don't want the status quo. They don't want the calmness. They don't want the stability. They want the drama. They want the excitement. Because for so long, black women feel like nobody has paid attention to them. And this is the way they speak in public, have to make a spectacle, have to talk out on radio, talk on TV. It's attention from the mass media. Because media is their new boyfriend, I guess. So this is why the bashing must continue. Like I said, not all of it's going to be intelligent. And it's YouTube. You're not going to get the most insightful minds. You might be getting some people who actually say a point or two, but there are other ones who will just call you everything in the book and things like that. But let him do it, as long as he's not, acting on it, hopefully. Maybe this is just like I said, a therapy session. Said it many times, for him to spew this out. It's going to be a hole left open that can be filled with something more positive, as long as you black women are there. And all black women aren't like the bashing that we talk about. There are actually quite a few on YouTube. I mean, black women that are just amazing. They take my breath away every time I see them on YouTube. Do I meet them in life? Rarely. And you know what happens? They're usually always married. Somebody's already locked them up. Someone with white guys, someone with black guys. That's the two things I noticed. But they're always taken. Because a good woman is a good woman, just like a good man is a good man. But I really do feel sorry for the black women who aren't a part of this whole controversy, who are literally caught in the middle. Because the thugs don't really care. They probably just join in, and scrape up the leftovers. But the intellectual brothers, the brothers who have tired, they're the ones bashing. Now the dudes who are supposed to be the brightest are talking like the thugs, like the ex-cons. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, just by their speech, they're sounding like cultural terrorists, if you will. But let them get that out of their system. Once it's out, something else can move in. That's my hope. And I've been holding in mine for decades as well, because I haven't really joined in the battle. Any black woman that's given me any major drama, I simply walk away. She can call me fucking weak. She can say whatever the fuck she wants to say. But I don't deal with fucking drama. I step the fuck away. Because I want my life peaceful. I want success. I want calmness. I want coolness. I want the whole nine. House, car, everything. Which I have. You know what I mean? And my life is in a fucking fantasy world. Some people like to argue. I don't like to argue. Arguments few and far between. So that's it. I'm out.